Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're doing a foundation review, which is my favorite. I love doing foundation reviews, and I'm especially excited for this one because I just got the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. I'm so excited to try this. Ever since I saw it on Instagram, I knew I had to give it a shot because I absolutely love the Conceal and Define concealers. And so here we are. We're gonna try this foundation out and do a wear test and all that. So I'm very, very excited. You guys, I'm so sorry about the background. There's construction going on and it's been happening all morning and afternoon and it's not stopped. So I just thought that I would have to just sit down and film this foundation review anyway. If you hear beeping or rocks tumbling in the background, I'm very sorry. So if you don't know, Makeup Revolution is one of my favorite affordable brands ever, so I'm super excited about this foundation. I'm just gonna kind of go on their website and read to you guys what it claims to do so we can kind of get an idea of what to expect, you know, before we try it out. So this foundation is full coverage. It says it offers lightweight yet buildable coverage in 24 skin true shades. It's oil-free but dries down to a long-lasting demi-matte finish that won't settle into fine lines or cling to dry patches. Ooh. Housed in a luxe glass bottle with a jumbo doe foot applicator for greater control and less waste. It's vegan, cruelty-free, paraben-free, and oil-free. And yeah, there are 24 shades. I'll link the link down below that kind of has all the info and it has like details about each shade, if that makes sense. Right now, these are only available in the UK as far as I'm concerned. They will be coming to Ulta. I'm just not sure when. Shout out to Megan and also the UK team for hooking me up with this foundation. I'm so excited. So let's get into it. The shade that I chose is F6, which is kind of unique because on the website, this is described as a light to medium skin tone with neutral undertone. And I do have a neutral undertone, but I never consider myself to be a light to medium skin tone. But I think compared to a couple other ones that I was swatching on my hands before, this one seems to be the best option as far as shades go. So let's do this. Here's what the bottle looks like. It's a beautiful glass bottle. Very nice. It feels very weighted and high end. It has a rose gold cap and a really pretty metallic tape on it. And then the inside does have that large doe foot applicator, which is so crazy. It's basically like a jumbo concealer. If you guys own the Conceal and Define concealers, they basically look like that. So I'm gonna give it a little shake before we go into it, just so that everything is nice and combined in the bottle. And then let's try it on the left side of the face first. So I'm just gonna do 2 stripes on the cheeks, 1 stripe on the forehead, and maybe a little bit on the chin. And let's see, what brush do I want to use? I'm gonna use my IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe brush, and let's see how this goes. Again, it says it's supposed to be buildable full coverage, and right now it's definitely giving me a lot of coverage. Wow, this looks so pretty. It really is blending out so nicely. That beeping, oh my gosh. I think this shade was a perfect match for me. I think it matches my neck really well. The undertone is perfect. I'm just kind of spot covering a few of my blemishes just because I feel like I need a little bit more coverage in certain spots of the face. But I absolutely love how that blended out with a brush. Wow, it looks flawless. Oh my gosh. All right, let's apply it to this side of the face. 2 stripes there, 1 stripe on the side, 1 stripe on the chin, just kind of like similar to what we did before. This time I'm going to take the Thrive Cosmetics sponge and just see how that blends out. Definitely is picking up a little bit of the coverage, I feel, which is typical with any sponge. Definitely picked up a lot of the coverage. I think I for sure like it applied with a brush first at least, and then maybe going over it with a sponge. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more coverage because I want it to look the same as the other side of my face. So I'm just gonna take the brush again and just kind of apply this all over this half of my face. It's blending out so beautifully. I'm just gonna quickly kind of go over everything lightly with the sponge because as you guys know, I usually love this anyways, applying it with a brush first and then smoothing over with a sponge. All right, so now that the foundation's all over the face, let's kind of talk about what we think about the finish. It's definitely a more powdery, almost completely matte finish. It's pretty matte. It is a little bit tacky, I guess, in certain areas. Overall, I feel like the coverage is gorgeous. I love the shade on me. I think this is a perfect shade match for me, and I think it looks pretty nice. My skin's a little dry right here and I can tell it's clinging a little bit. That's really the only area that's looking a little funny right now. So I'm actually gonna do my concealer on camera because they also sent over their new size of the Conceal and Define concealers. These are a fun new jumbo size. I love the originals. Oh gosh, I didn't even tell you how much this foundation is, you guys. This foundation retails for $12. More information will be in the description box in case you know, this is a little bit scattered for you, but $12, not bad for 0.8 fluid ounces. So I'm assuming this concealer is gonna look great on top of this foundation just because, you know, they're kind of made for each other. So I'm gonna take the shade C3 and I'm just going to be applying this shade underneath the eye. I'm also going to use it to highlight down the center of the face a little. Then I'm going to take my Thrive Cosmetics sponge and just blend that out. Alright, so I do feel like the concealer layered over that really, really nicely, and we're left with a very full coverage kind of demi matte finish. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up my makeup now, and then I will come back and we'll do our wear test. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Alright you guys, so I just finished my makeup. If you want to know what I'm wearing on my face, everything will be linked down below, and I also actually filmed a little mini Instagram tutorial for this look. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, head over there and I'll be posting it so you guys can kind of see how I got this makeup look. It turned out a little bit more vampy than I expected, but I used the Revolution Emily Edit palette, so I really liked how it turned out. So before I go about my day, I just kind of want to do a side-by-side comparison. Later we'll be doing a comparison of what this looks like right now versus what it will look like in several hours. So just so you know, everything applied nicely over top of it. It's definitely a little bit more of a dry formula than what I'm typically used to. I didn't use any setting sprays because I really want to see how, you know, it interacts with my natural oils throughout the day and all that stuff. So, you know, I did set the face with powder. I always set the face with powder, but I didn't use a setting spray. So I wanted to kind of throw that out there as well. It is currently 4:24, which is a little bit late. I feel like I always like finish my makeup for a foundation review around 4 or something. So as always, I'm going to try to wear this as long as possible. So far so good. I'm happy with the coverage of it. I feel like it has emphasized a little bit of texture in this area right here though. So we'll have to see how that ends up wearing. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna wear this as long as possible. We're gonna do a check-in and I will see you guys in just a few seconds and we can see how this foundation wore throughout the day. So I'll see you in just a second. What do you think?
Kind of breaking up.
Mm-hmm. It's breaking up with me.
It was so good earlier though.
I know, but I didn't powder it. That's the problem.
No, like when we were at dinner,
Oh, at dinner it was okay?
Oh yeah, it looked good.
So it wouldn't be like, you know,
super long wearing, but
maybe
it
like
would be beautiful
evening,
if you
night
touched
out.
it up.
It might have held up longer.
It's dewy now.
Yeah, a little too dewy. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. All right, you guys, I am back. It is 12:32 at night. Here's what the foundation's looking like. Okay, first of all, I did not powder throughout the entire day. And if I'm honest with you guys, I usually like midday at least once. Before I go out anywhere, I'll check my face and I'll blot where needed, usually in my T-zone, and I didn't do that today. So this is just based off of the foundation by itself with no setting spray to help me out, with no Rimmel Stay Matte setting powder to help me mattify my T-zone. And so we're just gonna kind of go off of that. I want to show you guys though, kind of up close what's going on here. You can tell it's very like oily here. It's breaking up a little bit around my nose, around the nose here, a little on my chin. It's getting a little funny right here in the forehead area, and it's settled into this smile line a little bit, which happens with like every foundation, to be honest. I also didn't touch up my lip color today, and there's still a little bit left for that e.l.f. like sheer matte lip color. I feel like it left a really nice stain on my lips, but my lips are very dry, so I'm just gonna quickly add a little lip balm, okay? But I'm very impressed at how the lip color stayed on considering I ate an enchilada for dinner, so not too shabby. So we're gonna do a side-by-side right now of the before and after, I guess. So this is when my makeup was freshly applied versus right now, so you guys can kind of see the difference after about 8 hours of wearing it. So usually when I sit down and do these updates or these check-ins, I guess, I've been really liking to kind of powder the T-zone just to see what it would look like. You know, say I wore it for this long and I needed to still go somewhere, but I just want to get rid of the oils. I'm going to take a little bit of the Thrive Cosmetics translucent powder. This is what I have all over like the face. The under eye area, I use the Makeup Revolution powder. I'm just curious. I really want to see how this looks if I just powder right over it. I wonder if it emphasizes anything, blurs anything. I mean, this powder does have some blurring properties to it, so it usually makes things look better anyway. I'm just powdering half the face right now. All right, let's compare. Wow. Okay, well, I feel like that freshened up the makeup really, really nicely. It's not perfect, but I mean, it's been 8 hours and I really feel like besides, you know, this area here, maybe the smile line's looking a little funny, that really softened everything up again and kind of gave it a nice refresh. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side of my face. This powder is amazing, you guys, by the way. It really does just like blur it. Even though it looked kind of funny, I feel like this looks so much better now. What in the world? It looks so much better. So here's how I feel about this foundation. I feel like the shade range is really great. I really like the packaging. I felt like I was able to find my perfect shade match, which is usually very difficult, especially for drugstore foundations usually. I can usually find like a good shade for me, but my wedding ring. I put lotion on my hands earlier and it's in the bathroom, so oh my gosh, I feel like not myself without my wedding ring. Okay. So I feel like the shade was a really good match for me. When I first applied it, I felt like it was really easy, especially with a foundation brush, to just blend it out. I feel like this would be a great foundation for just like if you're in a rush and you need to get out the door. Maybe not for like, you know, a 12-hour wear unless you bring blotting something, like something to touch up with, maybe even a pressed powder to help fix any of the patchiness that goes on if that happens to you. But I just feel like it's a really good, like, easy full coverage foundation. The coverage was amazing on this and I did like the finish. I feel like similar things happen to me with like matte foundations. Usually if it feels super dry and very matte in the beginning of the day, I feel like my skin kind of gets suffocated almost, or like feels like it needs to overcompensate for being really dry and overproduces oils. I don't know, I've just noticed that with products, and I know I've mentioned that before on my channel, and I feel like this might be another one of those products. If I'm not careful and if I'm not like touching up throughout the day, it can look a little bit more greasy than I would have liked. For me, I feel like I would use this for like a special occasion, you know, if I'm just gonna go out for dinner somewhere and I'm not gonna be wearing it for hours and hours and hours, just because it looks amazing. Like upon application, it looks really beautiful, but I don't know if I would use it and be able to like trust it for an all-day wear where I wasn't able to like sit down and touch up at all, you know? So I do feel like I'll still use this foundation. I do feel like I would recommend it. It's just like not the best long wearing foundation I've ever tried. I still absolutely love the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. So if you have not tried those yet, I definitely would recommend those. Those wear beautifully. I felt like they lasted all day in the areas that I put them. It's still on. I really love those concealers. So yeah, overall, this is a good foundation. It's not the most beautiful thing I've ever put on my skin, but it's also not like the worst thing I've ever put on my skin. It's just kind of like in the middle. Again, I feel like it's a good, quick, full coverage, beautiful, glam foundation that would be great for like special occasions. Do you know what I mean? That's just how I'm going to use it personally. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Thanks so much for always coming back to my channel and for watching my videos. I love you all so much and I was so excited to try that foundation. So guys, what other foundations do you want me to try out? Like, what do you have your eye on? What's coming up that you want me to review? Please let me know in the comments below, because foundation reviews are one of my favorite kinds of videos to film, just because I love foundations. Like, I feel like a good foundation changes everything. Like, when you find a good foundation, at least for me, it just like makes me feel so beautiful and so confident throughout the day, knowing that it's gonna wear well and make me look flawless and all that. So let me know if there's a foundation that you guys want me to test out. Everything will be linked in the description box if you guys want to check out the foundation as well as any other products that I talked about today. It's all in the description box. And if you guys haven't joined the family already, please do so by hitting the subscribe button. I would love to have you on board. And you can also click on the bell to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays every single time I post a video. That's it. I'm ready to take my makeup off and go to bed, my friends. So I will see you guys in my next video. Love you. Bye.